Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you all very much for attending this very important launch here today, and for giving this subject the importance that it deserves. I want to acknowledge, as the festival already has, all of the young men and women from the Presentation Convent and from Marion College. You're all very welcome to the session here today. And I also want to acknowledge some of the people that have already been acknowledged, but want to do so myself. I want to begin by acknowledging one organisation, and I think it's appropriate that we do it here today, which is the organisation that's headed up here by Professor Dennis Cusack, the Medical Bureau of Road Safety. I had the opportunity to meet this organisation very early in my term in office. And what all of you, I suspect, have seen today is something that I had the opportunity to see too when I had the opportunity to meet them, which is they are the unsung heroes of making our roads safer. The work that the professor, and I believe there's many members of his organisation present here today, I just want to publicly acknowledge the tremendous work that you do in analysing specimens, in developing science, and in working with all of the members of the Garda Síochána, the Road Safety Authority, and my own department, in continuing to find new, safe, reliable and secure ways to make our roads safer. And I'm really pleased that today more people got the opportunity to hear about this organisation and the work that they do. I also, of course, want to acknowledge the new chairperson, Liz O'Donnell, Moya, the Chief Executive of the Road Safety Authority, and of course a new Garda Commissioner, and wish her the very best of luck in her tenure in the office. I also want to acknowledge the members of the Garda Síochána that are here, the members of our Defence Forces, and particularly a group that have been acknowledged already, but all the families that are here who have lost a loved one due to death and due to tragedy and due to injury in our roads, and all of the campaigners that are here that have been involved in this. Because in the group that are here, you're meeting a group of people, and I've met them regularly. I've met families who've lost lives in our roads, who have been confronted with unimaginable grief. And that unimaginable grief, and we all hope, there but for the grace of God, go I or you, but some of us go there. They have used that grief as a source for them to make sure that other people do not face the fate that they or their families have faced. And the fact that many of them are here today, that they play a role in these advertising campaigns and support the work of the Gardaí and the Road Safety Authority is something that I as a minister never take for granted. One of the things that I've learned upon becoming minister is I frequently heard other people refer to a minister signing an order. And I always used to imagine before I became a minister that was code actually. Through some incredibly glamorous electronic procedure that would happen. A button would be pressed and something would move into being enacted. But actually I very rapidly found that what is actually involved in this is I sign a piece of paper to bring legislation into law. And I do it a lot. I do it in relation to different parts of my department, whether it be transport, whether it be sport, or whether it be, though less often, tourism. And very often when you're signing this piece of vellum that's in front of you, you pause to think, what are you actually doing? You do that all of the time, but occasionally you realise you're signing something that's actually going to have a very decisive effect and something that's very important to our society. And I knew that to be the case when I enacted some of the orders that were here to mark and here to discuss and here to look at how they can be better supported. And if there's any message that has to go out today from what you've heard, I want to pick up on one word that Professor Cusack used. When he used the word catastrophe. And let's be absolutely clear, at this festive season, when all anybody wants to be is with their family, with their friends, on the great days of rest and celebration in our country and beyond. What is a catastrophe is to find yourself in a Garda station, or God forbid, a morgue, because you have been a victim, a friend, a member of your family has become a victim, or you have been involved in making somebody else a victim. That's a catastrophe. And that's what this advertising campaign is all about. Because one of the things I've learned as minister is it's about awareness. It's keeping on emphasising to people that the Gardaí, the government, our local authorities, the road safety authority will do all we can to make our roads safer. But fundamentally, we need and we know that we have to have, when somebody gets behind the wheel of a car or get into a car, the awareness must be there regarding the responsibility to them and responsibility to other people who are on the road or on, as the chairperson indicated, on the footpath beside the road. You have to have an awareness of that responsibility. And the advertising campaign that is now underway will emphasise that and make that so clear. There's many other things that are underway in relation to this. The Road Traffic Act, which was signed into law on the 25th of February, makes provision for a whole lot of other things that we have to tackle. The use of mobile phones, the use of graduated sanctions and penalties for new drivers, for novice drivers, and other issues then in relation to how we can make sure penalty points are proportionate and put in place the right level of sanction for people who are caught endangering themselves and endangering others. And what I will be doing, as has already been indicated by a number of other speakers, my department who are here today, and I want to thank them for all of the work they do in such a vital area. We have now drafted the heads of the bill that will look at putting in place the law that is needed to allow the Gardaí, the Medical Bureau of Road Safety and the Road Safety Authority to have the right underpinning that will use devices next year to ensure that we can most importantly deter this kind of behaviour, and if we can't deter it, that it can be detected. And we are working very hard at the moment and having that piece of legislation ready, and I look forward to bringing it into the Doyle and bringing it into the Shannon and seeing it enacted and then being implemented on our roads next year. So again, thank you all for being here. The message goes out so clearly in this message, and of course the Christmas period. Let this be a time of celebration for everybody. Please God, let it not be a time of grieving for anybody. And that's why this message is here, and I want to thank all our agencies that are involved in doing this at a festive time for making sure that our roads, our communities and our paths are as safe as they possibly can be. Thank you.